Does Ukraine have biological weapons? The answer was a very carefully phrased, Ukraine has biological research facilities, after which Senator Rubio himself gave her the exit clause by putting the blame on Russia potentially doing a false flag operation in the future. Ms. Parthmore, clearly the American government is not being able to deny the fact that Ukraine has biological research facilities which can possibly be used in biological warfare as well. That's quite clear. I'd like your response, please.
Yeah, let me be absolutely clear. In very direct language, we do not believe that the Ukrainians have biological weapons programs. They have been a champion for non-proliferation since they became an independent nation. I absolutely do not believe that there are any biological weapons activities that have been conducted at any of these laboratories as assisted by the United States or by the Ukrainians.
What are biolabs? What are the biolabs which are there in Ukraine? Can you tell us more about what these biolabs are?
Absolutely. So one of the original impetuses for setting up these laboratories in the former Soviet Union was because of the Soviet biological weapons program. They had huge industrial scale biological weapons facilities in places like Kazakhstan. And we've been concerned over the years, including because they established and expanded these programs after signing the biological weapons program. We've been very concerned that Russia may still have a biological weapons program. But that's not the primary purpose. That's one driver of setting up these laboratories.
But what are the biolabs? What you have been, Ms. Parthmore, what are the biolabs? There are 16 of them. 16 of them.
So they
on on Ukrainian soil, am I correct?
Correct. Just as labs around India
what do they conduct
research for public health purposes, they conduct public health research. Similar to labs all around the world that do public health research.
Now, that's very generic. Can you be more specific than that? Can you be more specific than that? What do they study?
Absolutely. They study influenzas and other pathogens that have the risk of affecting humans and animals and livestock and agriculture. They essentially serve as an early warning system
and does
for
this
detecting
study,
disease outbreaks.
Does this study involve developing pathogens as well?
No.
Then how do you know what pathogens there are? And why is there such panic? What are the pathogens which, as it has been said out here, that if these pathogens, if these specific pathogens get away, then they can be very dangerous, which means inside those biolabs in Ukraine, there are some dangerous pathogens. And all of this is happening under the DTRA, the Defense Threat Reduction Agency, right? And the DTRA actually got millions for low visibility chemical and biological search that would meet, quote unquote, specific combatant command requirements, which means they were being used for a military purpose, which means therefore, and I am quoting information that has come from Pentagon, that means millions have gone into the development of low visibility chemical and biological research that will meet specific combatant command requirements, which means they're being used for the US military.
There's work that's occurring for defensive purposes as well as public health purposes. The U.S. Department of Defense has more than 100 years.
No, but they're being used for military purposes. See, that is very different. Ms. Parthmore, I think you need to explain this, because you just tried to tell me some time back, in fact about a minute back, that this was for public health, whereas I have come to you and I have just confronted you and said that there has been increased funding for the Nimble Elder program of the Defense Threat Research Agency, which is driven by, quote unquote, classified Department of Defense guidance. And this is aimed with low visibility, which means the world should not know, chemical and biological research for military purposes. But you just said public health. This doesn't sound like public health to me at all. What are you doing in Ukraine? Ms. Parthmore, would you care to clarify, please? Because you have used biological weapons and chemical weapons in the past. We're getting very concerned, please. Can you tell us what exactly is going on in the biolabs in Ukraine?
The United States ceased to have biological and chemical weapons programs after signing on to the Biological Weapons Convention and the Chemical Weapons Convention. This work is defensive and for public health purposes. As I've tried to explain.
No, but for military use? But for military use? But for military use?
There's no offense.
But is it for military use?
Offensive military. There is no offense. The military includes humans that can be
you're
infected
telling me
by
it's not
infectious
offensive, but yes,
diseases.
for military use.